A woman is accusing Sean Diddy Combs of and her when she was 16 years old in 2000.
Let's go back to New York City. Want to get some updates on the case that is unfolding there regarding Sean.
Let's dive into one of the most jaw-dropping twists in the never-ending whirlwind surrounding Sean Diddy Combs. This is no ordinary family drama. It's a tangled mess of scandal, shadowy whispers, and secrets so explosive they could shake everything we thought we knew. The air is thick with mystery, and trust me, you're going to want to hold on tight. The bombshell dropped earlier this week. Janice Combs, the iron-willed matriarch of the Combs empire, has vanished, fleeing the country without a trace. That's right, the woman who's been Diddy's rock through his chaotic career, wild controversies, and messy legal battles, has suddenly gone ghost. But this isn't your typical, I need a break getaway. No fancy beachside Instagram pics or spa retreats. This exit was stealthy, so secretive that even those closest to her are left scrambling, clueless, and desperate for answers. What makes this even juicier? It doesn't seem random. It feels like she's dodging something. Or someone. Let's rewind the clock a bit. For weeks, Janice stood by her son's side like a lioness protecting her cub, making it clear she wasn't backing down. She gave fiery statements, describing herself as a devastated mother who believed every word of Diddy's defense. She called the accusations against him a public lynching, insisting that the world needed to hear his truth before jumping to conclusions. But now, that ride-or-die loyalty has taken a shocking turn. What's hiding behind her sudden escape? Secrets? Betrayals? Or maybe something even darker? She seemed ready to go to war for her son, defending him like her life depended on it. So, why would she suddenly vanish without a trace? That's the million-dollar mystery everyone's scrambling to solve, and the clues may be hidden in the shadows of her past. Let's break down the whispers that have haunted Janice Combs for years. Rumors have long swirled about her possible link to the darker chapters of Diddy's life. Some point fingers at the notorious parties she allegedly threw back in the day at their Mount Vernon home when Diddy was just a kid. But don't mistake these for typical weekend BBQs or family cookouts. No, these parties had a wild, chaotic reputation. And what went down inside those walls still sends chills through those who were there. Childhood friends have come forward in recent documentaries, and the stories they tell are far from pretty. Tim Patterson, one of Diddy's closest pals, didn't hold back when describing the eerie vibe of those nights. He painted a picture of total chaos, where it wasn't uncommon to stumble upon scenes no child should ever witness.
The Rolling Stone, the doc features an alleged childhood friend of Puff's, hip-hop producer Tim Dog Patterson. He alleged that Janice, Diddy's mom, would often throw parties at Diddy's childhood home. He says that during the parties, it wasn't uncommon to walk into rooms where adults was having.
Patterson went as far as suggesting that being exposed to that environment could have left its mark on Diddy, potentially shaping the behaviors he's now being accused of. But here's where the puzzle twists. Janice was always seen as a mother on a mission, someone who fought tooth and nail to give Diddy the best shot at success. She put him in private schools, made sure he always looked sharp, and relocated the family to a better neighborhood after Diddy's father's tragic death. So how do we reconcile that image of a devoted, protective mother with the chilling accounts of those parties? Was she desperately doing whatever it took to ensure Diddy had opportunities, even if that meant ignoring the chaos under her own roof? Or was she more tangled in that turbulent lifestyle than anyone's willing to admit? And let's not ignore the timing of Janice's sudden exit. It's like the plot twist no one saw coming.
The parties, Tim says, verbatim, that's what we were privy to. This was what we were fed. Was it desensitizing us? I'm sure it was. Were we aware of it? No, that was just Saturday night. In the doc, per Rolling Stone, this type of childhood is alleged to be why Tim, the longtime friend of Diddy's, Puff believes that Puff found himself in the position he is in now.
Just as Diddy's legal nightmare was reaching new heights, with more accusers stepping forward and explosive documentaries flooding the media, Janice disappeared. Coincidence? Not a chance. Insiders are already buzzing with theories. suggesting that her abrupt departure was a calculated move to avoid getting sucked into the legal firestorm. Think about it. If those infamous childhood parties were even half as wild as the stories suggest, Janice could easily be called to testify. And under oath? Who knows what she'd reveal or how deep her involvement might run. But the plot thickens, because according to sources, Janice didn't just slip away quietly. No, she allegedly took a hefty sum of money with her. And not just pocket change, we're talking cash that Diddy probably needs to cover his skyrocketing legal costs. If this rumor holds any weight, it cracks open a whole new can of questions. Was she running scared? Or did she see this as her chance to cut ties and secure her own safety before everything came crashing down? Either way, her exit wasn't just unexpected. It left Diddy vulnerable and scrambling, right when he needs a loyal support system more than ever.
Another question that we just can't ignore is the role of power. Because one question is, how does somebody become the way they are? And then another question is, how are they allowed to stay the way that they are? And I think that also speaks to this kind of, lack of...
But the shockwaves don't stop there. Janice's disappearance is wreaking havoc on the entire Combs family. Diddy's children, already drowning in the media circus thanks to their father's controversies, now have to deal with the emotional blow of their grandmother's sudden abandonment. She wasn't just a distant figure. They grew up with her by their side, attending red carpet events, family celebrations, and milestone moments. One insider didn't hold back, describing the family dynamic as completely shattered, with everyone struggling to make sense of the chaos she left behind. It's impossible not to question how this shocking twist will reshape the way Diddy's children see both their father and their grandmother. Will they feel betrayed, confused, or start doubting everything they once believed about their family's strength and loyalty?
Me like, how did you keep, why did you keep going? Why were you there? I'm like, it literally is around me. If I don't stay at home, this is the atmosphere I'm in. Like, I have no...
And the situation isn't just messy. It's turning into a full-blown legal powder keg. Reports suggest that the FBI is quietly watching Janice's every move, or lack thereof. Although she hasn't been charged with any crimes yet, her close connection to Diddy's tangled legal web could easily land her on their radar as a person of interest. Insiders whisper that if she's sitting on critical details tied to the case, it's only a matter of time before her name shows up on a wanted list. But right now, she's managed to pull off the impossible, completely vanishing without a trace. Rumors are flying. Some say she's laying low somewhere in Europe. Others swear she's sipping cocktails on a hidden Caribbean island. Wherever she's hiding, staying off the grid in today's hyper-connected world is no small feat, and it only deepens the mystery surrounding her motives. Her escape isn't just a disappearing act. It's casting a long, dark shadow over everything we thought we knew about her. For years, Janice played the role of the loyal, protective mother who publicly defended Diddy with passion. But now, her actions are screaming something entirely different: self-preservation and maybe even guilt. What if she does know more than she's been willing to admit? And what if that knowledge could sink Diddy's legal defense? Without her around to support his narrative, his legal team could face an uphill battle, convincing the courts that he's just a victim of circumstance. And let's not forget the damage this is doing to her legacy. Janice wasn't just another face in the crowd. She was the Combs family's symbol of resilience, a single mother who built a dynasty against all odds. But now, her sudden, secretive exit risks rewriting that story, leaving behind a reputation that may forever be stained by mystery, betrayal, and unanswered questions.
He was above the law, so I can only, think that, he was sloppy in the way that he did these crimes, that there's probably a trail of evidence, not only involving him, but everybody in his circle that he would, delegate these responsibilities to. And
it's a harsh reminder that even the most polished and perfect images can crack under the weight of pressure. Janice's escape has thrown gasoline on an already raging fire, adding more twists and turns to this chaos-filled saga. Whether she's running from the law, the media, or demons from her own past, her sudden departure leaves behind a trail of questions that may never be fully answered. For Diddy, the timing couldn't be worse. As he gears up for the battle of his life, he's doing it without the woman who stood by him for over 5 decades. Her absence is creating shockwaves, and those ripples are quickly spreading across every corner of his world. The fallout is just beginning, but the long-term damage could be devastating, reaching far beyond what anyone imagined. Now, let's break down Diddy's mounting legal nightmare. To say the charges are stacking up would be putting it lightly.
I feel like we're almost becoming numb to the lawsuit after the lawsuit after the lawsuit. And do all of the allegations against Combs so far that we've seen make the claims here, these new claims, do you think it makes it more?
It's more like a legal avalanche crashing down on him. These accusations aren't just serious. They're downright explosive. From claims of coercion to allegations that he orchestrated elaborate and highly questionable gatherings, it feels like every new report brings a darker revelation. And the list? It seems endless, with fresh accusations emerging like clockwork. But the criminal charges are only half the story. On the civil side, things are spiraling just as fast. Lawsuits are pouring in like a torrential storm, and it's not just a handful. Attorney Tony Busby is reportedly representing a jaw-dropping 120 accusers. Yes, you heard that right, 120. That number is enough to make anyone's head spin. And it's a figure that's proving impossible for the media, the public, and Diddy's legal team to ignore.
The 8 people in the videos, the 8 celebrities in the videos, were allegedly victims of crimes. We know who they are, but we will not be naming them.
Despite their best efforts to frame him as a victim of overblown accusations, the sheer weight of these cases could be too much to bear. With that many voices demanding justice, Diddy's defense team is fighting an uphill battle that shows no signs of slowing down. So, how does Janice's sudden disappearance tie into this legal disaster? The impact goes far beyond emotional heartbreak. It's a logistical nightmare. Janice wasn't just a quiet supporter standing in the background. She was a key player in Diddy's defense, publicly denouncing the accusations as a public lynching and presenting herself as the family's moral compass. Her voice was crucial, her statements a pillar of Diddy's strategy to maintain his image and credibility. But now? Her absence feels like a gut punch. With her gone, it's as if even his most loyal defenders are quietly abandoning ship. And while no one is openly saying it yet, the whispers are deafening. Did Janice leave because she knows something the rest of the world doesn't? Is there a hidden piece to this chaotic puzzle waiting to drop? And then, there's the fallout from the alleged victims. Among the 8 celebrities reportedly tied to the case, their identities remain protected. But the damage is real. On top of that, Diddy's financial situation is crumbling faster than anyone expected. Insiders are sounding the alarm. The mogul is facing a cash flow crisis that could derail his entire legal strategy. Mounting a high-profile defense requires serious money. Elite lawyers, investigators, and damage control teams don't come cheap. But with Janice allegedly taking a significant amount of cash when she fled, Diddy's financial resources are stretched to their breaking point. And it's not just the legal fees that are draining him. Settlements with accusers have reportedly cost him a fortune. While Diddy's team insists that settling doesn't mean admitting guilt, the payouts have been massive, eating away at his wealth piece by piece. And here's the kicker. The financial strain isn't limited to court battles. Every new settlement chips away at his empire, leaving less and less to fight off the legal onslaught. If things keep spiraling like this, even Diddy's legendary fortune might not be enough to save him. Diddy's once glittering business empire, built on music, fashion, and luxury, now shows signs of serious cracks. His record label, fashion ventures, and high-profile spirits brand are all feeling the pressure. Sponsors are quietly backing out, major partnerships are dissolving, and the public's perception of Diddy is shifting fast. Even some of his most loyal collaborators, the ones who stood by him through past controversies, are reportedly distancing themselves, afraid to be dragged down by the escalating scandal. It's a classic domino effect. One piece topples, and the whole structure is at risk of collapsing. What was once an untouchable empire now feels fragile, like one wrong move could send it crashing down. And let's not forget the mess inside his own home. Janice's disappearance hasn't just created a gap, it's left a void no one else seems capable of filling. Her sudden exit has thrown the family into chaos. Diddy's children, who were already dealing with the media storm surrounding their father's legal troubles, are now grappling with the added emotional weight of losing their grandmother's steady presence. Janice wasn't just a family figure. She was the glue holding it all together. The one who showed up for school events, stood front and center at red carpet appearances, and made sure the family stayed grounded during vacations and milestones. Without her, that foundation is cracking. Her disappearance feels personal, like a deep betrayal, and it's left the family spiraling. One insider described the tension in the Combs household as suffocating, with everyone walking on eggshells, waiting for the next disaster to hit. But the emotional damage doesn't stop with Diddy's kids. The man himself is struggling, deeply. Sources close to him say he's plagued by feelings of confusion, betrayal, and hurt. He's reportedly been asking why his mother, the woman who had always been his biggest supporter, would abandon him at such a critical moment. Some speculate that her sudden departure has left him questioning everything: his past, his upbringing, and even the people he thought he could trust the most. It's a crushing blow, and it couldn't have come at a worse time for Diddy. But perhaps the most fascinating or downright alarming aspect of this entire mess is how public opinion is playing a pivotal role. Diddy, a man who spent decades mastering the art of narrative control, using his charm, power, and influence to craft the perfect public image, is now facing a storm he can't seem to contain. This time, the narrative is slipping through his fingers like sand. Social media is on fire with speculation, and hashtags like Diddy Downfall and Combs Chaos are trending almost daily. Some fans are fiercely defending him, claiming he's the victim of a coordinated smear campaign meant to tear him down. But on the flip side, others are growing louder, demanding accountability as they point to the ever-growing pile of accusations. They're asking, how much more needs to come out before people start accepting the truth? And if you thought the media frenzy stopped there, think again. Streaming platforms are feeding the public's appetite for scandal with one bombshell documentary after another. From Peacock's Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy, to Discovery's The Fall of Diddy, these exposés are putting his entire legacy under a microscope. They're digging deep into the scandals, uncovering secrets, and parading new witnesses who are willing to speak on record. Every new film seems to uncover yet another layer of controversy, making it harder for Diddy to shake the public's growing doubt. Of course, his legal team has tried to dismiss these documentaries, calling them biased, one-sided, and sensationalized. But they can't deny the damage they're doing. In the court of public opinion, perception is reality. And right now, that reality looks bleak. Each new headline, hashtag, and revelation is chipping away at the foundation of his carefully built empire. If things don't change soon, Diddy may be remembered less for his success and more for the scandals that unraveled it all. One of the most damning threads running through these documentaries is how they connect Diddy's past to his present, suggesting that the roots of his current troubles were planted long ago. Childhood friends, like Tim Patterson, have stepped forward with stories that are impossible to ignore. Patterson's vivid accounts of the wild, chaotic gatherings at Janice's house, where anything seemed possible and boundaries were often blurred, have only added fuel to the already blazing fire. Diddy has never been shy about his rough upbringing or the struggles he faced growing up. But these new revelations paint a much darker and more unsettling picture. Overcoming adversity is one thing, but perpetuating the very behaviors that once caused you pain? That's a whole different story. And the revelations don't stop there. Even more chilling are the testimonials from former employees, ex-partners, and industry insiders. These aren't just random people looking for their moment in the spotlight. These are individuals who were once embedded in Diddy's inner circle. Their stories paint a picture of a man who knew how to wield power and influence to get exactly what he wanted, often at the expense of those around him. Former girlfriends have come forward with troubling accounts of their time with him, while employees have described a toxic, fear-driven work environment where dissent wasn't tolerated. The consistency of these stories is what makes them so hard to dismiss. Diddy wasn't just a man climbing the ranks of fame, he thrived on control. And when that control was challenged, things allegedly took a dark and ugly turn. The image of the charismatic mogul starts to fade, replaced by a figure with a much more complicated and controversial legacy. Let's not overlook the role Janice plays in this tangled web of scandal. While she's long been seen as a loving but imperfect mother, her sudden disappearance raises some serious questions. Just how much did she really know about Diddy's alleged behavior? Was she aware of the accusations before they exploded into the public eye? And more importantly, did she play a role, whether knowingly or through blind loyalty, in enabling any of it? If she did, her departure could be more than just a strategic retreat. It might signal a deeper sense of guilt, or a calculated move to protect herself from the fallout. These are questions that may never have clear answers, but they add another layer of mystery to a story already overflowing with drama and uncertainty. As the trial date inches closer, the pressure is mounting. For Diddy, this fight isn't just about avoiding conviction. It's about salvaging the legacy he spent decades building. But with every new lawsuit, every damning revelation, and now the emotional bombshell of his mother's disappearance, the walls around him seem to be closing in. What was once a towering empire, a testament to resilience and success, now looks like a fragile house of cards on the verge of crumbling with just one more push. And yet, there's still an air of uncertainty hanging over the whole saga. Could Diddy somehow pull off a miraculous comeback and rewrite the narrative? Or is this truly the beginning of the end for one of hip-hop's most influential figures? And then there's Janice. Will she resurface with answers and explanations? Or will her disappearance go down as one of the great unsolved mysteries in the Combs family history? As the chaos rages on, one thing remains clear. This story is far from over. With each passing day, the drama deepens, and the world watches closely to see which way the House of Combs will fall. It feels like we're only just peeling back the first few layers of this chaotic saga. With the Combs family, predictability isn't even on the menu. Drama seems to follow them like a shadow. And with so many unanswered questions and twists waiting to surface, you've got to wonder, what's next? Will Janice make a surprise comeback? Will Diddy find a way to save his legacy? Or will the walls finally come crashing down? We want to hear your thoughts. Drop them in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with your friends who love celebrity gossip as much as you do. There's plenty more drama to uncover, and you won't want to miss a second of it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Stay curious, because the next bombshell could drop any second.